Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Leading the Moment here at Southwest Tech. Joining me, as always, Dr. Jeremy Pickard, president at Southwest Tech. Hi, Jeremy.
How's it going, Dan? How you doing today?
Doing great.
Good.
Doing great. Another good day. And we're going to have a special episode today. Joining us is Stacia Stephenson, Director of Advancement here at Southwest Tech, correct?
Yes, correct.
Great. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of things foundation-related, scholarships, and, of course, we have a big, exciting event coming up in September. We'll get into that, of course, but we like to start with a few fun questions just to kind of get it started, Stacia. The first one is, what is something people are surprised to learn about you?
There are so many things that I think surprise people about me, but I would say, and this is kind of a downer though, I have type 1 diabetes. I was diagnosed at 28, so but that's something that surprises people about me. I think a lot of people know I have a big blended family, so I have siblings that are 20 years younger than me, which is really fun, and we're like the Brady Bunch, essentially. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me that surprises people.
That's great. What about you, Jeremy? Is there something people don't know?
I don't know if they know. Usually we have 5 kids, so people are always like, wow, that's a lot. Like on purpose, and they want should you have had that many? Those are usually things that they can. And then we have 4 grandchildren with the 5th on the way, and so people are often surprised to hear that. That, and then I think sometimes the suit coat gives people a perception that something's going on. And like, for example, I replaced the starter out of my 4-wheeler this weekend because I like to do things like that. And so they often kind of give you a funny look on, we didn't know you had jeans because you're always dressed a certain way.
You didn't do it with the jacket on, did you?
No, I didn't. Okay. I did with my dress shoes on, though, just because I was in a hurry to get it done. So,
sure.
Yep.
That'd be an expensive dry cleaning bill if he started doing that.
It's happened before, believe me. I've learned my lesson.
I can see maybe one of these days you going over to the auto tech area and fiddling with some engines and with your sport coat on.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm that good, but I think the student built home in Lancaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to show up with my tool belt someday, and we're going to help out.
Absolutely, that's great. So, question number 2, Stacia, this is kind of a big one, super important. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely not.
Good
not
answer.
A pineapple person. I just stick to the basics. Yeah. Love all the veggies, but no pineapple on my pizza. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great answer. What about you, Jeremy?
Firm no. That should just be taken off every pizza menu that's out there. I'm a no too. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's great. Next one, what is one thing you're looking forward to this academic year, Stacia? I think we know, but there might be more.
Oh, there's so much I'm looking forward to. So I would say, I'm coming up on my first year here at Southwest Tech, and I didn't start the year here at the academic year, so just the first week on campus with the students back and just the great energy, continuing to build relationships and get to know our alumni and our supporters, our donors is super important to me, and I'm really looking forward to that. We have a lot of events coming up that are exciting for our college and for our foundation area, so yeah, I would just say just the energy that the new academic year brings is something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and obviously the year's already started, Jeremy, but some more things you're looking forward to as we progress here?
Yeah, I think it's that. We have a couple of opportunities to really improve what we do here. So the Higher Learning Commission is coming in for their 10-year visit, and so we've been preparing for that. Most people don't look for accreditors to come in, but I actually welcome it because I think it does sometimes shine a lot of light on an opportunity for us to be a little bit better. And so I think we do really great things, but with any great organization, we can always be a little bit greater. And I think that's why Southwest Tech is a great organization, because they've committed to that quality and continuous improvement. And then we have the opportunity to join the Better College Teaching Network, and we've shared just a little bit about that. And so that's an opportunity. They reached out to us and said, hey, would you be interested in being part of that? And so really, really looking forward to that. It's all about teaching and learning and what's going on in the classroom. And again, same thing. It's also for us to help contribute to the really great things that they're doing, because we are doing great things here, but it's also an opportunity for us to learn how to be even better at what it is that we do. So those 2 things I think are really excited for us to be part of in the fall, and then continuing through the rest of the academic year.
Sure, a lot of great stuff ahead for sure. So Stacia, maybe let's start with your background. I guess, where did you grow up, and how did you find your way to Southwest Tech?
Oh, I grew up in a big town called Bloomington, Wisconsin. and had a great childhood there. Loved growing up in Bloomington, and then found my way going to UW-Platteville to school, to college, and had a great opportunity to start my professional career in the foundation at UW-Platteville. And I spent almost 14 years there before I found my way coming to Southwest Tech. This has been, kind of a dream, to be honest, just to serve a lot of my family members that have been, I can see a lot of my family, my friends, neighborhood friends, and folks that have attended Southwest Tech. So I just feel really honored to serve those that, I grew up with, that I call family. And so I feel really lucky to be here.
We're happy to have you here, Stacia, of course.
Thank you.
So speaking of the foundation, for people that don't know, I guess, what is the foundation? What does it do? And what's its role here with the college?
Yeah, so the foundation is how I describe it is it's the fundraising arm of the college, where we serve as a separate 501c3. So we can accept gifts on behalf of our donors and supporters, and it goes directly back to the college. So I would say that it gives opportunities for our alumni, donors, community members to give back and to support what's important and what our needs for the college are. I say this all the time. I have the best job on this campus. Sorry, Jeremy, but truly the best job on this campus because of just the work that we do, and we see the impact and all that.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference what the foundation does, for sure.
Yeah.
Jeremy, speaking of the foundation, where does the foundation fit in as far as college funding? I know we only have a few options, and how important is the foundation to what we need to do here?
Oh, it's vital for what we do, and I think that's what she said. It's the most enjoyable part of our job. You get to go out and you get to meet with people who are friends and partners with the organization, and they come alongside and they give some of the things that are, their treasure back to Southwest Tech in order for us to reinvest those resources back into the things that we're doing. And so I look at it as just a strong partnership. They are separate entities on purpose. The college is an entity and the foundation is an entity, but those two entities are trying to, walk in lockstep with one another to ensure that their missions are pointed in the same direction. And that's the role that I play as the president in helping work with Stacia on the foundation side of the house. I've had a chance to go out with her to a number of visits and meet a number of our strong partners. She does have a great job. It is fun to be around people who are just excited about that. And you get to, maybe over lunch or over dinner, just tell the story and all the great things that are going on at the college. And it is great for people who want to also support the mission that's going on here and continue to invest in the great things that are going on at Southwest Tech.
Yeah, or over golf, right? Some golf outings once in a while?
Twice this year. Yeah, I've been out twice. So
we can accomplish a lot
that's
during
true.
golf outings.
Very
that's for
true.
sure.
Yeah.
So, Stacia, as Director of Advancement, I guess, what are your responsibilities? What's your role in the foundation?
Yeah, so my role is serving departments that live within advancement. Advancement's all about advancing the college. So I support the areas of our foundation and our real estate foundation boards. Also, our business and industry services that support industry needs and their training needs. So we have folks that go out and listen to industry partners and what potential trainings do their employees need, and how can we support them as the educational arm of our region. We also have career services under advancement, so our job fairs, our job postings, our ability to connect our students with placement upon graduation is a big role in that, career services, and then also farm business and production management. So again, supporting our students that are interested in the agriculture world, or supporting our farmers in their financial planning and various things. So our team has a wide spread of roles and responsibilities, but it's ultimately just advancing the college.
Sure.
So
That does sound like a great job.
it's so fun. I'm telling you. Yeah.
So, Jeremy, speaking of partnerships, the foundation is a great way for us to kind of bridge between the college and industry and and what they need, right? The foundation is a big help with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's two foundations, and so she's referenced
Sure.
the real estate foundation, and then just I'll call it the regular foundation, real estate. That I think the title of it helps you understand what they're interested in. So they're looking at investing in either land or properties that could benefit the college. A little easier for the foundation to be able to acquire those and do some things with them, other than the college having to do that. And so a couple of examples, we have student housing on campus. They were very instrumental in helping us get student housing on campus. And then we're doing a student-built home in Lancaster that I referenced earlier, and so they had a role to play in some of that as well, too. So having those two entities, is really critical. And then I think for somebody who believes in what you're doing, you have the opportunity to give back. And so even as employees, many of our employees are doing that, myself included. You're just doing some of your payroll deduction back into the foundation in order to help with scholarships or different initiatives that we have. We have a food pantry here called Katie's Cupboard. That's another way that the foundation helps support some of those things as well, too. So students who maybe need a little more assistance with some of the day-to-day things, food being one of those, we have the ability to serve them in a number of ways as well, too. So lots of really good things going on. And I think that's truly the fun part is Southwest Tech benefited somebody. They were able to get an education, get a good paying job, do well in that profession, and then they want to say, you know what, I had a scholarship when I was here. I was somebody who benefited from that. I then want to pay that forward and contribute back to that. And so that's the fun part of the foundation.
Sure. Do you see that quite a bit, Stacia, where alumni will be like, oh, I'm grateful for Southwest Tech being there. I'd like to take my turn now and give back. Do you see that a lot?
Absolutely. I also see a lot of, so it's alumni that experience receiving a fund scholarship, but then also it's those that if they would have had a scholarship, how much easier maybe their college life experience would have been. And so it's kind of all over the board, the reasons why people give back, which is really, the beautiful part about giving back and seeing a lot of people's investment in our students and our programs come to fruition and how that impacts them later on.
Sure, and you've been in advancement and the foundation work for quite a few years, I guess. Why are you so passionate about it other than it's the best job on campus?
I truly think it's because I see firsthand how it impacts students, right? When I connect a donor with a student at an event or a meetup, in the cafeteria on our campus, and they get to exchange, have conversations with one another, and you see the student just extremely, overwhelmed with support, and then you have the donor who is just observing that student and so proud that they were part of their journey. That's when the magic happens, and so my small part in that, makes me want to show up every day, and I truly believe in the work that we're doing. I would not be able to do this job if I didn't, I will tell you that. So I'm just really proud of, and I'm amazed every day too as I meet donors who are complete strangers to most of our students,
right.
Complete strangers to most of us on this campus, but yet they feel that strongly about, what a Southwest Tech education does, and not only that, but the experiences that they have when they're here, and how we all contribute to that is really, really exciting to see. And
yeah, for sure. And speaking of students and scholarships, how big of a impact do you think these scholarships make, Jeremy, for our students to get from point A to point B and out in the workforce?
Yeah, I think they're critical for many of our students as well. There's some government aid and grants and things of that nature, and that's why you complete a FAFSA. Pell Grant is there as well, but these help close that gap. And we talked with Holly not too long ago on the podcast here, and she talked a lot about the student success plans, the SSPs that we call them here. A component of that student success plan is a financial plan. So not only are we going to get you your courses, we're going to get you signed up, we're going to get you in a program, but now we're going to try to help you figure out how to pay for college. And part of that is we know the financial plan for every one of our students who's completed an SSP. So we know what that gap is between what they have and what they need in order to be a graduate. And that's where the foundation can come in. And we have the metrics already in place to say, boy, if we could just meet this need, we know that that student is going to have the ability to be a lot more successful because we know what our metrics are while they're on campus. Our course completion rates are off the charts. Our graduation rates are like double the national average. So we know we have really, really great metrics, but sometimes it just takes a little bit of resources in order for them to be able to come and to be able to finish and complete and do the things that they need to do. And like you said, that's the part that it's making a huge difference in their walk here and in their journey here and their educational experience.
Yeah, it really is. And speaking of the financial gaps, we have a very exciting event coming up, Stacia, in September. Do you want to announce that and tell us what that's all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are hosting our first in many years, our Chargers Day of Giving on September 23rd. We are really ramped up and ready to, share that information out there to get it to reach out to as many people as possible. But ultimately, it's about the impact that Day of Giving will have for our students and our campus. We're featuring specific funds that really will have the greatest impact, I would say, on our campus, but you can give to any of the funds. If you have your own personal scholarship fund or there's a program that you want to support, you can certainly do that. But we're featuring a few funds, and one of them is our Student General Scholarship Fund, our endowment, so that, we have as much flexible dollars to support our students. The other is our Student Success Plan scholarships, which is actually targeted for our 30 school districts that we serve. So each of those school districts have their own scholarship. So if you feel really strongly about giving back to a school that you graduated from or the community that you live in, you can direct your gift to that specific fund. We also have our Chargers Annual Fund, which supports areas of greatest need. If there's any sort of, an emergency or an expense that came up on behalf of the college, this fund serves that purpose. And then last but not least is our Katie's Cupboard Fund. Food insecurity and household essentials. Our students have great need, and not only the financial impact, with scholarships, the impact that has, but also Katie's Cupboard helps, put food on the table for our students, and we have a huge need. There's over 1,200 visits a year out of Katie's Cupboard, and we typically have like $10,000 in expenses for Katie's Cupboard, and so our goal is to set an endowment that can generate, about $20,000 annually to support Katie's Cupboard and potentially our outreach sites and keep our breakfast bar open in the Knox Center, and so there's some really great funds to support during Day of Giving. But yeah, we're hosting a cookie social for our staff to get our staff and campus excited about it, and then hosting an event during the day for people on campus to pop in, our community members to pop in to make their gift, to pledge their gift, to pick up some swag. If you're the first 50 donors, you get a free T-shirt. So we're handing out awesome Southwest Tech Charger T-shirts. So it's really great. But again, it's more about just giving. It's about the impact that gift has. And so I hope that continues to be the theme that we have on our campus. When you think about giving, it's about the impact that it has on our campus.
Sure, and every gift, whether it's $5 or $500,000, it makes a huge impact.
Everyone. Yeah. And that's what we just said. Just get involved. And so we want you to give until you feel joyful about that, until you feel like it's meaningful to you. So to your point, if that's $10 or $10 million or anything in between, we would just encourage you, just feel the joy of giving in that, because to your point, every dollar invested in students makes a difference to somebody.
Sure. And speaking of scholarships and finances, something also fairly new through the foundation the last couple of years is the way our scholarships are awarded. Stacia, can you maybe take us through that a little bit and how that's kind of changed?
Yeah, so I was not here when this was implemented, but I am so thrilled to hear this is how we award out scholarships. So essentially, it's like a rolling process. So instead of a deadline of March 1st, you can establish a scholarship, you can give us, donate to a scholarship at any time throughout the year, and we have students that have that need. We will be able to award it out the very next day. And so that's been a really great way to remove some barriers for our students and just provide scholarship opportunities throughout the whole year to our students. We have a great team that works on our scholarships day in and day out. Kim Govier, I'm going to give them a shout out. Kim Govier and Cora Beth do a great job making sure that we are serving our students and providing those financial resources to them.
And it's about flexibility, right, Jeremy? We have to be there. We have to meet the students where they are, right?
That's right. Everybody's situation is different. Everybody's need is different. Everybody and needs that lift up at that time when they need that lift up. And so we want to be as flexible as possible because we know that our students, they're not all the same. They're not a cookie cutter student. And that's what we pride ourselves here at Southwest Tech is we treat everybody as the individual. And so we want to take care of the individual no matter what that means for them. And so we're always really, really excited to be able to meet them when they have a need, whether that's at the beginning of the semester just for a scholarship, or maybe that's partway through the semester because they had a flat tire and they don't have the resources in order to fix that flat tire. And just having that flat tire fixed would help them to continue their education. And so anything in between there, we like to have the flexibility to help them where they're at.
Sure, no doubt about that. Another interesting service through the foundation, Stacia, is Free Will. It's fairly new. Can you talk about that service as well?
The Free Will essentially helps you establish your will and your financial plans, your future plans for your estate, as well as you can set your executor and different directives like that. But it's free to anyone that uses it. It's an expense on the foundation, and it's just a great service to help provide to our campus community. I feel like educated and a prepared community, right, is a better community, and so I love that Southwest Tech fronts the cost for that, so it's free to everyone.
That's great. Jeremy, can you talk a little bit about all the options that donors have? I know Stacia mentioned them. I mean, there's a bunch of different funds. It's not just, if you give us $100, we're going to do whatever we want with it. That's not how it works.
No. So, we have funds like that we have full flexibility that you entrust the college to make the decision on how you want those resources to be used. And so oftentimes the proceeds off of that, we would be able to do that. But then there are some that even have very specific things. And those are great. Like I want to be a nursing student from a particular town. We can also set those up as well. Those do put a lot of constraints and restriction on us. So, our preference is things that are a little bit more flexible or with an or clause. Like if we can't find a student that meets that exact criteria, that we have the option to award the resources to someone who is in need for that. So we have everything in between. And then if there's not one there that interests you at all, you can actually go in and really set up your own. So if you had the desire to set up an endowment that represents your family or yourself for a particular need, we can work with you on that as well too. So really a lot of flexibility in that. We can help talk you through all of the different options that we have and coach you into one. But really, you have an interest in why you're donating. There's something there that sparked you. There's something that meant a lot to you. Maybe it was a particular department or a faculty member or a colleague that you knew there well. And so we want to also honor you in what it is that you want to do as a donor when you want to bring those resources in. So having that conversation, meeting with Stacia and doing that would be something we'd be happy to walk you through and have a conversation about.
Sure. So as we wrap up, obviously it's about flexibility for the donors, flexibility for the students, and we have an exciting event coming up. We'll remind people again, September 23rd. What is that again, Stacia?
It's our Charter's Day of Giving. So it's a great opportunity to invite our campus community to support the college and support our students. And
if you want more information on that, we do have a webpage set up, swtc.edu/Day of Giving. Easy enough. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. We really appreciate your time, Stacia, and you, Jeremy, as well.
Thanks, Dan.
It's going to be a good few months ahead.
Yeah. We're excited.
We're excited too.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you. And thanks for joining us on this episode. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another episode. Thank you.